Today on PFDauto, back on the 190. Thought I was going to take a break, didn't ya? Well, I'm going to continue on with the CLK, but I've got some professional fabricators coming over today to take care of this Crossmember. The last episode of the 190, you could tell I didn't know what I was doing. So now, I'm just going to fork over the money and get this done right. They suggested that I just cut it flat and that they're going to weld straight to the metal that's there. They seem to think they can get it done. So let's watch and see what happens.
All right, Nicholas. It's time for your masterpiece.
All right, well, that was a fun packed day. And here's the outcome. You can see they did a great job. Everything looks pretty amazing. The paint, it didn't survive. But all this came out really nice. My suspension still fits. Everything is dialed in. Let's see if we can get some shots from underneath the car. See if we can see this back part where they welded in those parts that they cut. Everything's all finish welded all the way across. So now we have a real Crossmember again. And with that cut, we have a lot more room. You can see we got a nice straight shot here. So I'm going to hit this with a little bit of paint just so it doesn't rust. And then I'm going to stuff the motor back in and see where we're at. All right, well, I just threw a quick heavy coat on this just to keep it from rusting out. Wasn't going for pretty. It's drippy. It's gross. I'm going to sand it back off and repaint it. So don't worry, I'm going to take the same care that I took on the rest of the engine bay to make this look nice, even though it's underneath the engine. But between all the grinding and stuff that I've been doing, this whole engine bay needs washed out. And then certain areas where I've been dropping the hood need sanded, repainted, re-cleared. So I'll get all that after I get the motor mounts, transmission mount, all that stuff figured out. I'll come back in here, probably tear all of this stuff out, clean it all back off, and paint it the right way. But now, I don't have to worry about that rusting. I can get the engine back in here, and we can start figuring out where it's going to land. That way, finally can do some engine mounts. Well, here's the moment that I was waiting for. Taking out the rest of that was such a good idea. You can see now I have enough room to fit my fingers underneath there. And up here, I can fit 3 whole fingers now. Before, I could barely fit 2. So, I mean, and on this side, the peak, it's still a little high. Right here, it's still a little tight, but I mean, that's hood pad status. That's going to get my transmission lined up perfectly. Man, I am pretty excited about this being done. It seemed like a lot of work for not a lot of gain, but cutting those corners out and flattening it out like they suggested, it made all the difference. I'm excited. I hope y'all are excited too. Well, it's sure nice having the guys here. They definitely knew what they were doing. Now that we've got this Crossmember all figured out, we can start prototyping some mounts. So in the next 190 episode, we're going to figure out where that transmission needs to land. We're going to figure out where this engine needs to be. We're going to start prototyping. Then we'll get them shipped off, get them made up. We'll have the engine and the transmission mounted. After that, I've got a whole bunch of parts sitting in the house. But until we get this finished up, there's really no point in putting anything else on it. So hopefully soon, we'll get to some fun stuff. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you have any questions, any comments, drop me a line. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time on PFDauto.